Hey folks, Jonathan here. Getting some work done on the rollback here. As you can see, I've cut these bottom corners off of this headache bar. And for anybody that don't know, the reason I'm replacing this headache bar is this one's way too short. This was on a 3500 HD, which is a regular Chevrolet pickup cab. And I've got one here that was given to me a long time ago. And it's different, but I mean it's taller. Really, it's got my bends up here, and that's what I want. Somebody cut a section out, which is not a problem. I need to narrow it up a little bit anyway, and we're going to have to recut the bottom, get that how we want it. Just a few little things, but what I wanted to do was get these cut first, and then actually get them bolted on. I'll grind them and clean them up first, and then we'll bolt them on. And I want to try to get it all together right while it's sitting there, and we'll probably roll the bed forward and put it back down against the cab, and that way we can get it how I want it. And if it's a little bit low, it's not a big deal, because we can block the light up, sort of like they done here. Okay folks, we're fighting the thunderstorms here. Finally did I've got them bolted on, of course, up toward the front, but I've started on this and went ahead and clamped the top side of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out the bottoms, get them ready to set down on our mounts up there. But once I get that straightened out, I'm going to cut this panel off and then move these in and to the distance I need to make it fit at the bottom, and then we're going to try to get it up there. Okay, what I figured out is the angle on this one is more out than in, and my bar is not going to be long enough. Even though I've got these at the same 84 inches where I need them, that's going to be too short. So I either got to extend it or change my plans. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Don't know. I guess I'll figure it out. Okay, we got it stuck up on there. I got to get this pine straw and stuff up here. I've been putting it off, but need to grab the pressure washer and get that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this together once I know that I've got it where I want it, got everything right. And then I'm going to put some kind of support from there to there where it needs to be. And I think when I get this welded up, or not, just spot it in or whatever, to where I know it won't move, I'm going to roll it forward and put the bed down, and then I'll know for sure, do some measuring, make sure everything's right before I do anything. And then once I get the support welded in it, then I'll pull this thing back off, lay it in the shop floor to where I can really, get everything finished up and done. One thing, this is what I was talking about, the angles. As you can see, this angle's up this way, and that angle's that way. So what I'm going to do is, once I get this tacked down, I'll take the sledgehammer and I'll bring them out to the edge where they need to be. And they're not as strong if you weld them in the center, because this tube would bend as what it would be if you bring them out to the edge. So we want to bring them back out to the edge. Number one thing on this is safety. Number two is looks. I mean, I don't want it to look stupid, but it's got to be safe. Alright, so we got it tack welded on there, and both sides. So we're going to roll it forward and see what it looks like when it gets up against the cab. Hopefully it'll look alright. See what we can do here. The levers are backwards on this one from all my other trucks, so I've got to be careful. Ooh, a little high. A little higher than I thought it was going to be. I don't like it. I'm not happy with it. Not at all. I'm going to cut it and shorten it. Yeah, I'll cut it back loose and cut it and shorten it. I don't like it. All right, I'll tell you more. All right, I know some of y'all think I'm crazy, but you know, you'd leave it, but I don't like it. I just don't like it sticking up that far above the cab. And then the light will be on it. It'll look like it's sticking up that much farther. We'll take 4 inches out of it and bring it down. I just can't live with it that way. I just don't like it. So I would rather do that and you know, start over than have it a way that I don't like it, and I won't be happy with it, you know, forever. So, you know, I don't want to look back and regret. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna get that thing shortened up, and then I'll show you more. Okay, we're gonna check it again here. Got it shortened up, back on there. Hopefully it'll work this time. It'll make me happy anyway. Yeah, I've got a couple reasons I don't like them up. One reason is I had employees, and I had employees that would go in a driveway and knock, let's just say, the passenger side lens off of it, and then when they left the place, they'd knock the driver's side off. You know, they could have got over, but they didn't do it. So if you keep it tucked down as low as you can, it usually works out best. And on this thing, it's up high anyway. I mean, this ain't like a 1-ton where it's down low. And the other reason, the big reason, I built a rollback years back, and I didn't do the headache bar. I just built the bed on a truck, 1-ton truck, and I done all the lines, got everything finished except for the headache bar. I didn't finish that, and I sold it to a guy, and he put a headache bar on it, and it stuck up 1.5 feet above the cab, and everybody knew I built the rollback, and then I had to hear it about that headache bar, and even though I didn't build it, and everybody knew I didn't build it, but I mean, I still had to hear about it. So, and it really looked goofy. So, anyway, here goes nothing. Be able to try and see what she looks like this time. I'd rather redo it 10 times than not be happy with it. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Yeah, that's what I wanted. About even with the top of the cab. That means I can put my light on. I'm down low, you're up higher, so maybe you can see a little better, but that's what I wanted. I didn't want it sticking up. So we're good to go there. And I really thought I measured that thing when I first got it, or when I first got this bed, but evidently I didn't. But I was hoping to get farther along, but you know, when you got to redo stuff, you got to redo it. You know, if I built that, I would have done the contour of the back of the cab, but you know, it is what it is, so we're going to leave it. The plans for this, let me shut this off and I'll explain to what my plans are. Okay, this is a 19-foot Jerry-Dan aluminum bed, and like I said, it came on that HD 3500, so it's actually narrow. I don't like the width of it. There's no way, I don't think you could even think about hauling a dually on it. It's got sides that are made on it. So my whole plans, I'm going to get this thing done and get it on the road, you know, get some paint on it, clean the bed up. But my actual plans are to build a steel bed, roll this one off, you know, just pull the winch. If you take the winch off, there's only one nut on the back of this that you pull. Sometimes there's a pin. I didn't look on here, but I think there's actually a nut on the end on a Jerry-Dan. But take the one nut off, you can slide the bed off. And we're going to slide it off. We're going to slide a new bed on. And I'm going to build an 8-foot wide bed using, of course, steel. I'm going to go 20 foot instead of 19. 21's nice. I don't really want to go 21 with it because it's so long of a truck, but it'll handle a 20 with no problem. That extra foot helps out a lot. And I tell you, when you get a 4-door long bed on here, you can haul it fine, but if it's a 4-door long bed with a winch or a push bumper on the front, it's really hard to haul. And so we just want to go an extra foot. All this is a 6-inch I-beam, 3.5-inch wide. I'll buy them steel. I've still got about all of my cross members that I was saving, which is a 3-inch channel. I don't like to use box tubing. Anytime you use a box tubing, it gets water in it, it rusts. You know, I don't know why they ever would even think about building one with box tubing. But so we'll buy a new sheet of steel, one piece, and then we'll bend up the sides, but we'll bend them up to where, like on my other truck, where they're just about you know, a ½ inch high or something, where if we want to haul a building, or if we want to haul you know, a farm tractor, and part of the tire be, you know, right here off the bed, the rest of it be on, that's fine. You know, it don't hurt a thing. Strap it down good. So I'll probably end up reusing this headache bar on it, but you know, this is definitely not one I'm going to be keeping. Now I've got the other tilt frame down there with an 8-foot cylinder, 8-foot extension. It's actually longer than 8 foot, but it extends 8 foot. This bed here will make a good trailer. I've been wanting to build a rollback trailer, so I'll put this on just put it on the back burner for later on, building a rollback trailer. And I don't know whether I'm going to make a sliding axle trailer where the axle slides forward and the back of the bed drops down, or if I'm going to build one that tilts just like a rollback and goes back. I've got an extra winch. I've actually got a few extra winches I've saved over the years, but these are good winches. Ramsey 8000. I don't know why they're going to super winch, why they'd ever go away from a Ramsey. Probably the toughest winch ever built. And I'll show you on my other rollback. You know, this is one thing you don't want to have. Now, of course, I've got to get this cleaned out. It's terrible, but there's bolts and glass and you name it, sand. I think a lot of it is sand. But anyway, I want to get it away from my concrete here, and then I'll take the pressure washer to it or something, magnet and then a pressure washer. But anyway, you know, Ramsey's has got two basic freewheels, and you know, one being the lever that you pull, and you can see the casting was actually, you know, made about the same for that. And then you've got this one which pulls out and twists, and then you twist it back straight, you go to winch and it pops in. They both work good, you know, you keep them greased and like they should be. But the problem is I don't want to be reaching in here. You know, I might have the bed back and tilted and, you know, at a wreck and I need to freewheel it again. I don't want to have to climb up on the bed every time. So we're going to bring that out here, and I'm going to show you, you know, the wrecker I'm using now, the top kick, the red top kick. I actually already done that on it, and I'll show you how I done it. And I done it on my the wrecker I built, or the rollback I built. And now it's got the lever, and I just built a setup for it. But I'll show you them real quick. You'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, my wife's mowing in the back here, so excuse the noise. But this is one I done a long time ago. Now, if I had to redo it, I'd probably bring it out farther, you know, this way. But I mean, it works fine. You can still get to it, especially if you go from the front side when the you know, when the bed's down and back. But it's the same setup as what's on our Jerridan. As you can see, it just pulls out. I just pull it and twist it, and that unlocks it, and just turn it. And when you go to winch, it pops back in, no problem. It's spring loaded inside, and that's just an old shifter knob off probably an old 4-speed, and just quick and easy. You know, there's not much to that. And then I'll show you the other one. All right, this is my International that I've got to get running and get the clutch in. You can see that the winch, the motor is actually on this side. I don't know what this winch came off of. I know it was parts and pieces when I got it, and I took 2 winches and made one, but that's been 8 or 10 years ago, so, you know, I don't even remember. But made this setup for the Fairlead rollers, and made the lever and put a spring on it because it didn't have a spring inside. They don't run a spring like the other ones do. But on this one, what I did is I put this in the lathe and I turned out a groove in it. And then I've got this piece here, which has a groove in it. And when you just pull it out, pop it down into place, and that holds it into freewheel. That spring pulls it back over. Pretty simple. Just another shifter knob. I don't even know what it was off of. And then when you're ready, just pop it up and it pops right in. Now I really like this one because it's out so far. You know, this bed can be back and you can operate it with no problem. But that's one thing you definitely want to do on a wrecker, if you can, is to get the freewheel out on the side. So, and this is the headache bar that I built on this one. You know, it's actually 1.5 by 5 or by 6, and I actually just pie cut it and bent it around and welded it. And there's not a drop of Bondo in it. It's just all, you know, welded and ground. And you know, that was That was actually the steel from the back of the tractor trailer that makes the frame in the back. And it had a lot of holes in it, and I welded all the holes up and ground them down, but I didn't have the money to go buy a new piece of steel, and what, why would I anyway when I had that? But yeah, in comparison, this steel bed is built so much heavier than that aluminum. I've got 4-inch square tubing running all the way across the front. You don't have to worry about any problems there. I could actually run this with the headache bar mounted to the frame. I don't do it, but it wouldn't be hard. But this has been a really good truck. Like I said, I've got to get the clutch back in it, or get a clutch in it, and get back to driving it because it's my favorite truck. So, anyway, all right, folks, we're going to call it a night. It's getting ready to, it's either going to pour down or it's getting dark. I don't know what time it is. So, anyway, probably going to do some machining on the cases tonight. If I won't get the video on there tonight of it, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get this video on and get myself back out here in the shop. Get cooled off a little bit, maybe grab some bite to eat. And if I don't have any toes or anything, I will I'll run back out to the shop and do a little work, and then we'll get back on this thing tomorrow. And I'm pretty eager to get this out of the way. I said that sometimes I do pretty drastic changes on builds, whether it be tearing something back apart if I don't like it or whatever, but I think y'all are going to see that on the wrecker build, the four-wheel drive wrecker. It's looking like I'm going to do a pretty drastic change on it.